Hi, this is Greg Brown.
I'm David Ivy, and this is Dynamic Discussions.
We're bringing you more weekly insights into fall protection and safety products, their applications, and how you use them. This week we have an external expert here with us. With us, joined on the internet, we have Ray Nardo from Fall Proof Systems. Ray is a professional in this industry. He's been doing fall protection systems for many, many years, and he's a great guy to have on board and a great guy to answer a question, one particular question that we have today, and we'll probably see Ray a few more times on this series. Ray, tell us a little bit about yourself and your history in this.
Sure. Well, Fall Proof Systems has been around for approximately 20 plus years. I've been in the industry for about a dozen years, starting in the netting world and moving over into the lifeline and training world to combine the whole thing. We're based in New Jersey and we work remotely all across the country. Anywhere you may need a netting system, lifeline system, installation, that is our specialty.
Great. And Ray has been a great partner for Malta Dynamics, and I'm sure a lot of other manufacturers as well. And you heard the word netting a little bit when Ray was speaking, and that's the question this week, and that's why we brought him in. We've had several questions here lately about netting as far as when you should use it. Is it a temporary or is it a permanent solution? And what are some things about that could be beneficial? At Malta Dynamics, we don't do netting. We don't manufacture that. We don't do the installation of that, but we did know a guy, and his name is Ray. So Ray, tell us a little bit about fall protection netting. What is the best time and best situation for that, and kind of the ins and outs of an indicator of when somebody should use it?
Well, that's a great question. The challenges with netting is it can be used in almost any instance, anywhere. It can be used anywhere from debris containment on conveyor belts in warehousing situations. It could be used for high-rise construction to catch debris from falling down into the area below. Maybe it could be a streetway if it's in a major city, or it could just be an open work area below in an open community. So there's a lot of different applications for netting. The biggest one we see is the high-rise construction, the cantilever. You're going to find that in your major cities. Obviously, they're just out of room. If anything did come off that building, it would not only affect the workers, but it would affect the normal people just walking by on a daily basis. The second area we see is we begin to see a lot more under net decking. And what that is basically under a deck for your iron workers, your steel guys, to catch them internally inside the building. The next we see is the conveyor belt netting in our large warehousing. As we get, obviously in these times, we see more and more shipping and more opportunities in these large industries that could ultimately shoot something off of a conveyor belt to the workers below. So that would be a debris containment. And then last but not least, in roofing replacement, we also see a lot of netting going up under the roofing trusses. So as they're tearing the roof off above, the workers can still work inside the warehouses and factories while the roof is being torn off. In the past, we used to have to close the factory down while the roof got replaced, and that could ultimately take up to 1 to 2 months. With the ability to put in netting, we allow the workers to work safely below and the roofers to do their job above.
So with that, Ray, on the safety netting, we've got, a couple questions when they come in. So if you're using the safety netting as your fall protection for the people instead of the debris, are they required to be tied off to anything, or does that netting suffice as their fall prevention, fall protection system?
That's a great question, David. There's a personnel rated safety net that is designed by a qualified person to be able to catch people. And that would allow them they would not have to tie off at that point. We could do that typically with an underdecking and a cantilever system. There are some OSHA guidelines out there that are based on, depending on how high the worker is above the net, how far that net has to reach out on a cantilever aspect. So we have the ability to meet the customer's needs on what they're trying to do. And that's where the qualified person comes in, and we lay the system out, engineer the system out to the facility, to the building, whatever it may be.
Awesome. Would the netting system that would be catching construction debris and materials, would that be a different type of netting system than is rated to catch personnel, or can they be kind of a dual purpose?
It's kind of rated depending on what you're trying to catch. So there's a light debris system out there that can catch anything up to small tools, personal tools, maybe a brick. And then you have your heavyweight debris system is going to catch cinder blocks, 2x4s, plywood, your larger, heavier things. And then at the end, you have personnel. And the personnel nets do have a debris liner in them, so it will catch the debris and it will catch the personnel. Again, it comes down to just a quick conversation. What are you trying to catch, and how far are you going to let it fall? So, as you guys are aware, in your world, the more free fall you have, the more force you have. So, again, that'd be just a quick conversation with the client, but it does come in a light debris, a medium debris, and then a personnel system.
That's great, and it's nice that we can call on professionals that have knowledge that we don't have here. You know, we do harnesses, we do lanyards, self-retracting stuff, but the free falling into the nets that we don't know anything about. So we definitely appreciate Ray Nardo from Fall Proof Systems. Ray, how can we get a hold of you if somebody's got more questions about netting?
Sure. Well, the easiest way is via email, ray@fallproof.com, our website, fallproof.com as well. And you can ask any questions there, and that'll go into our email catch system, and it will come to me, and we'll be able to answer any of your questions.
That's great. Fantastic. Thanks very much for your time today, Ray. As always, if you have questions, feel free to email us in your fall protection questions if you'd like us to answer them in a dynamic discussions. And thank you for tuning in this week.